Okay, let game 2 begin. Luvnest vs. Please Call Me Dad continues. Please Call Me Dad attempted INR Pathfinder spam last game, and surprisingly enough, it didn't work. Luvnest this game is going to go Guard Motor Urban Defense and Guard Rifle Combined Arms against Please Call Me Dad's Oster with Encirclement. And these guys, joint operations apparently, so doubled up on joint operations, and he has Encirclement. Also, two Pyos heading right into a mortar. Going mortar first. Interesting decision. Luvnest fielding two squads of conscripts, making their way towards the center and possibly also right. Combat engineers moving to take control of the fuel, while conscripts take control of this strategic point right here. And this point is moving to grab these squad heading south. So Luvnest will actually spread himself very thin in the early game, all over the map, try to take territory on all different fronts, and more importantly, have two squads in this general vicinity so that he has a good chance of securing this early building. This early building has a huge impact on the way the first engagement for this territory goes, so it's really good to have squads in the general vicinity right here where they can take control of that. Luvnest will not rush for the building. He is going to take control of the territories first before making an attempt to move to secure it. And as Soviets, he kind of has that luxury since he gets very early tools with which to force an opponent from buildings, and he's actually chosen urban defense. It's a pretty bold tactic, and he's actually been countered extremely hard already. Which I find really funny. Luvnest may not, however, choose to actually build the forward headquarters. Now that he sees that his opponent has built at least one mortar. If he does, it won't last very long. MG42 in production next. And conscripts are moving to take control of the right side fuel point. Mortars firing, bombarding. From there, positioning green cover over here behind these buildings, and conscripts are going to start probing for a way to assault them. Double Pyos right here will make it dangerous for a lone squad of conscripts to push through into extremely close range. Luvnest is going to make the attempt anyway, which he should not do. Will disengage when he sees what's available here to defend, and off he goes. Double mortars firing at the conscripts over here on the point could potentially be very dangerous to this squad, which is very clumped. Just one or two miracle mortars away from that squad going down. So far, all shots have been off target, fortunately. Pyos will move to provide vision against them, and their sandbag position is going to get destroyed immediately. So Please Call Me Dad seems to be playing completely around Luvnest's strategy of just spamming lone conscripts standing behind sandbags, trying to counter it with a double mortar opening, and so far could be going worse, although he has pretty much no map control. He needs to try and get control of this fuel and victory point and not lose it, and he definitely needs to try to prevent his mortars from being forced to retreat back to base. Squads will be forced to retreat, unfortunately, by a big flank by those three conscripts, everything being sent back into the base by Please Call Me Dad, who I honestly think could have made a little bit more of an effort to hold this. He just kind of retreated everything back into the base because of that flank. And now he's going to lose control of the entire map. Literally, doesn't have a single point under his control.
The enemy is taking our territory.
His Pyos are going to have to get out of here too. Has not really got a whole lot of munitions together yet, and I don't think he's made a single munitions expenditure, and we still can't even afford his first flamethrower. So we'll be relying entirely on lucky mortar hits and his machine guns. Pyos charge up into close range against these conscripts. No lucky mortar hits yet, but they will retreat just to be safe. Taking quite a bit of damage. There's Luvnest for his flamethrower, and he has not built a forward HQ. He has not used any of his doctrinal features. Does not have access to any of his features except for the forward HQ.
This now belongs to the people and workers of the Soviet Union.
Mines planted!
Mine planted right there.
Sandbags are set up.
More sandbags constructed pretty much everywhere. Victory point and fuel point alike.
Keeping it.
Please call me Dad will leave his base, set up this same defensive position right here, and try and start bombarding Luvnest's various units as effectively as he can. There's Battle Phase 1 and no commander selection from him just yet. Tier 4 being built here in the base by Luvnest. Interesting. Ooh, lucky mortar right there. Detonates a mine.
Incoming!
I was charging across open ground to try and force these conscripts from a green cover position. This squad leaves their cover to support in this engagement and will easily force those two squads piles away. This particular squad falls dangerously low, making the potential of lucky mortars dangerous enough that Luvnest will feel he should retreat that squad. This one will take their place in a slightly different green cover position. Over here, machine gun is forced away by a flanking squad of conscripts, and Luvnest will go back to holding almost the entire map except for this one lone point. That machine gun will not be able to do much against the squad in green cover, and is getting sniped quite quickly right there in open ground. Please call me Dad has fielded a third mortar apparently. Luvnest, having gone tier 4, has access to the Su-76, and I guess maybe is going to go Katyusha to try and counter this ridiculous mortar spam. That machine gun looks like it's going to get wiped. Conscripts in green cover will snipe it. Pio's moving up to try and screen for the mortars a little bit, which are all being forced to reposition and are therefore not firing now and sitting in the base. Flamethrower forcing Pios to retreat back to base as well. Luvnest looks like he will go back to holding every single point on the map. Yeah, I agree. Eridim, if you think you can do better, we're all dying to see your plan. Demo charge does not get planted right there. Pios are making another feeble charge into Luvnest green cover conscripts. Plus stolen machine gun. And Luvnest has gone Katyusha to try and punish with the mortar spam. First salvo is pretty off target. Second salvo also pretty off target. Looks like fire to that range didn't really have much of an impact, but it will prevent the mortars from firing briefly, so that alone is going to strengthen Luvnest's hold on this area. Except for that he apparently had to retreat anyway. Most of Luvnest's squads actually did have to retreat as a result of mortar fire. They do go back to base for healing and reinforcement, making their way back to the front line now. Luvnest has spent pretty much all of his fuel on Su-76, which is on its way.
Redouble your efforts. We are down to 200 points.
Minesweeper squad heading left. They will spot a bunch, like a zillion mines on their way over here. I guess he's trying to slow down the victory point drain. He is triple capped, only 165 points remaining, although I don't really see how he could possibly survive the situation he's in. Artillery field officer fielded to give his mortars a buff. Mortars dealing minor damage to some of my squads in cover, but ultimately nothing Please Call Me Dad has is anywhere close to leaving the Oster base. Over here on the left, 3 squads allocated to shut down this harassment attempt, which was just one minesweeper pile and would be very easy to push back into the base. Su-76 is available to fire. Katyusha is also now available to fire. Mortar clears. Mortar cleared right here by the flamethrower. Flamethrower will be forced to retreat. Katyusha will clear another mortar. The Oster base is just filled with a smattering of team weapons that are being recruited over and over again. Minesweeper piles will continue to attempt to slow down the victory point drain here. Conscripts moving to clean them up now. There goes that minesweeper squad. Su-76 firing into the base. $119 victory points remaining. Su-76 managed 1 kill. Katyusha currently beating it by 2. Pio's flanking a conscript squad, might be able to force this retreat. Yay!
We have liberated the objective. We must stiffen our resolve. We are down to 75 points. Taking MG fire! Alert! Taking counter fire!
Conscripts trying to provide vision for the Katyusha, I think. An extraordinarily long shot just sniped the Su-76 apparently. So that's backing up a little bit. Katyusha softening up some of these team weapons. Su-76 also firing. Will snipe 1 machine gun crew member. 2 clears the gun. Wow, 3 kills on the Su-76. Not Red Wings tier, but you know, respectable. This one also bombarding from another angle. Softening up the Oster base as well as possible. To Luvnest's credit, although he did lock in urban defense tactics, he never actually fielded a forward HQ. I don't think he used any of his doctrinal features, in fact, except for now incendiary artillery is being dropped. Saw that his opponent was spamming only mortars, knew that that would be a bad call.
Close to defeat. 25 points remaining.
And just locked up the game with 4 conscripts, 2 flamethrowers, like he pretty much always does. Same build as Soviets pretty much every time. 4 conscripts, 2 flamethrowers. Somewhat map dependent. Minor variations, but that is his core that he operates on. Somebody's got to find a way to beat this strategy. Somebody's got to be able to beat this. Clearly, Please Call Me Dad is not up to the challenge. Maybe somebody else will be. Well played, Luvnest. The game is over. GG.